The city at dusk was a river of blurred faces. William walked through it, unnoticed, until a voice stopped him cold. He halted. The crowd flowed around him like water, but he turned back, searching for the source.
Who is that? Why is no one stopping?
Under a street lamp, a girl sang to an empty corner. Long brown hair, blue dress, guitar, open case with a few coins. Mid-verse, she saw him, the only still face. Her fingers stumbled, the chord dying. He mouthed, "Keep going." She took a breath and played on, for him alone. She finished the song with her eyes locked on his, voice wavering but determined. The last note faded. Then, a single pair of hands clapping, slow and deliberate. She raised her eyes, wet and stunned. He stepped closer.
I'll be here tomorrow.
The next evening, William appeared as the street lamp flickered on. Emily saw him halfway through her song. Her voice held.
He came back. No one ever comes back.
After the song, he sat on the wall beside her. The guitar case between them was still empty.
Thank you. I honestly didn't think you'd show up.
I couldn't get your voice out of my head. It made the whole city feel less empty.
She looked down, fingers tracing the neck of the guitar as if it had answers.
I used to sing professionally. Had a label, but they dropped me.
Why would they do that? Anyone with ears can hear you are special.
They said I didn't fit their image, so I ended up here.
She gave her name. Emily. He answered. William. And the silence that followed held a question neither was ready to ask. Night after night, William returned. He became the one fixed point in the ever-shifting crowd. One evening, Emily paused between songs and motioned him closer.
Sit with me. It's strange singing to just one person, but it's better than singing to ghosts.
She told him the rest, how a small label signed her, pushed out a rushed EP, then dropped her when the first single barely charted.
They said my sound wasn't commercial, that I couldn't connect, so I came here to remember why I started playing at all.
All that rejection, and she still sings. That kind of strength doesn't come from nowhere. I get it. My office job makes me feel invisible too, like I'm just a chair warmer.
Then maybe we're both invisible. But for an hour, here we can be real.
They sat in a pocket of stillness as the city roared on. For the first time in a long while, neither of them felt completely alone. Then one evening, she played something new, a song she'd written and never shared. It was raw, full of the ache she'd buried.
This is the song. If people could just hear this, they'd understand.
He didn't plan it. He pulled out his phone and pressed record. That night, in his apartment, he uploaded it to a community page. Caption, "The voice that should be famous." By morning, a few hundred views. The comments trickled in. One read, "Where has she been? This is breathtaking." Another, "Dropped for a reason. Amateur hour."
Some people just want to tear others down. But that first comment, "Maybe this will work. I should tell her." But what if she hates me for it? Better if she never knows.
That evening, he returned to the corner. She smiled, thanked him for being there. He said nothing. The video stayed online, hidden in plain sight. A quiet bomb, waiting to go off. In her room later, Emily scrolled past a familiar face, her own, on a video with hundreds of views. Her blood ran cold.
Who filmed this? Who posted it without asking?
She walked to the corner earlier than usual. When William arrived, she held up her phone, her hand trembling.
Did you do this? Did you film me and put it online?
I just wanted the world to hear you. I thought if people saw what I see.
They see a reject. Look at the comments. Pathetic, they call me. This is why I sang to an empty corner.
Her voice cracked. She lowered the phone and stepped back.
I trusted you, William. You were the one person who didn't treat me like a sideshow. And now you did the one thing that could break me again.
Before he could answer, she turned and walked away, guitar case left behind. He didn't try to stop her. William stood alone under the street lamp, the weight of his good intention crushing him. The next evening, William returned to the corner, hoping for a chance to explain, but the corner was empty. No guitar case, no Emily, just the street lamp buzzing over bare concrete. He sat on the wall where they'd shared coffee and secrets. An hour passed. 2. Passers-by glanced at the lonely man, then moved on.
She's never just disappeared before. Something is very wrong.
His phone finally lit up. A message from Emily. Then a screenshot. Her text read, "Someone from my old label saw the video. They want to talk. I don't know what to do." The screenshot showed a direct message. "Emily, long time. Saw the clip. Big things happening over here. Need your sound back. Let's meet. Rick."
Rick Mendoza, the producer who told her she had no future in music, then cut her loose.
He typed back urgently. "Don't trust him. He's a shark. I'll go with you. Please let me help." Her reply was blunt. "I have to do this alone. You've done enough." The screen went black, and William understood. His video had dragged her past back into the light, fangs first. William couldn't just wait. He went home, opened his laptop, and typed Rick Mendoza into the search bar. One artist wrote, "Rick promises the world, then locks you into a contract that takes 80% of everything. I had to sue to get out." Another post detailed how he targeted vulnerable musicians, reeling them in with fake confidence, then crushing them, again, if they didn't deliver.
This is the man who broke her once, and now he's back for more.
He gathered screenshots and articles, then composed an email to Emily. He wrote, "Emily, please read this before you meet him. Rick has a history of predatory contracts. He'll crush you again. I am sorry I started this, but don't let him finish it." In her room, Emily's phone buzzed with his email. She stared at the screen, red-eyed from crying.
He's probably right. But if I don't even try, I'll always wonder, and I can't trust William anymore, can I?
She read the attachments, the lawsuits, the warnings, and her heart sank. The evidence was undeniable. She didn't reply. She just set the phone face down and buried her face in her hands, more alone than ever. 2 more evenings passed. William came to the corner and found only silence. The street lamp burned over empty concrete. On the 3rd night, rain slicked the streets. William almost didn't go, but his feet carried him there, and he saw her figure beneath the lamp. She stood with her back to him, staring at the wall. No guitar. No guitar. No case. Just her, drenched and still. He stopped a few feet away, rain dripping from his hair. She didn't turn. He spoke her name softly.
You were right about Rick. After your email, I looked harder. He's a predator, a walking wrecking ball, but the video still made me feel like a freak show. I sang to be invisible. And you made me visible to the worst people. I am not meeting him. But I can't just pretend we're okay, William. I don't trust you right now. Delete the video. Right now. I need to see it gone.
He didn't argue. He pulled out his phone, found the post, and pressed delete. The little icon vanished. She watched, her face unreadable. Without another word, she turned and walked into the rain, leaving him alone with the empty corner and a deletion that could never undo the damage. William couldn't sleep. At dawn, he opened his laptop to the deleted post's cached page, searching for meaning. He scrolled past venomous comments. Then a new one, missed before, caught his eye. Comment: "I am a music teacher at City Community Music School. Your voice reminds me why I teach. If you want a different path, message me. Mrs. Lawson."
A teacher. An actual path that isn't about Rick. This could be real.
He screenshotted the comment, hands trembling with fragile hope.
If I bring this to Emily now, she'll think it's another trick, but she needs to know.
The video had only found this comment because of his post. Maybe the destruction could yield something good.
I have to verify this. If it's genuine, I'll get it to her, no matter what.
He closed the laptop. Outside, the rain had stopped, pale sunlight breaking through. William didn't know if Emily would ever speak to him again. but he'd walk through fire to hand her a lifeline. The next morning, William stood outside the City Community Music School, a brick building with a bright banner. He walked inside and found the director's office, where a gray-haired woman with kind eyes looked up from a desk cluttered with music sheets.
Mrs. Lawson, my name is William. I'm here about a comment you left on a video of a street singer.
Ah, the girl with the guitar. I saw the video before it vanished. Her voice truly moved me. Is she all right?
She's struggling. A producer nearly pulled her back into a bad deal. I made a mess, but I found your comment, and I had to follow up.
I've been looking for a teaching assistant for our beginner guitar class. Someone with real passion, not just credentials. She seems perfect.
This isn't charity. She needs something solid, Mrs. Lawson. Something that won't crumble.
Mrs. Lawson nodded and began typing. She printed a formal email and handed it to William.
Show her this. It's a genuine offer, no strings. She deserves a place where her gift can grow.
He walked out clutching the paper, the weight on his chest finally lifting a fraction. William didn't knock. He stood outside Emily's apartment, a manila envelope in his hand, his heart beating against his ribs. He had written a short note on it. I know I messed up. This came from the video. Before I deleted it, it's real, I checked. If you want to talk, I'll be at the bench tonight. No pressure. He crouched and slipped it under the door. The paper whispered against the floor, then silence. He walked away. Hours later, Emily came home. She froze at the sight of the envelope on her mat. She picked it up, read the note, and then unfolded the printed email inside. The letterhead was official. The signature handwritten. Dear Emily, I saw your video before it was deleted. Your voice reminded me why I love teaching. We would like to offer you a position as a teaching assistant for beginner guitar. A fresh start, Mrs. Lawson.
Is this another trap? Someone messing with me?
She read it 3 times. The words didn't change. A music teacher had seen her, really seen her, and offered something concrete. She set the paper on the table. She didn't believe it, not yet, but she didn't crumple it either. For the first time since the rain, something in her chest eased, just a fraction. The next evening, William sat on the bench near the corner. The street lamp flickered on, and he waited, not knowing if she would come. Then a silhouette moved through the dimness. Emily walked toward him, her arms wrapped around herself. She sat at the far end of the bench, facing straight ahead, her profile sharp against the golden light.
I read the letter. I am scared. William, what if this is another false hope? Another person who sees a commodity?
The only way to know is to meet Mrs. Lawson yourself. I can go with you, or I won't. That's your call.
A long silence stretched between them, filled only by the distant murmur of traffic.
Okay, I'll meet her, but I am doing this for myself, not for you.
That's all I ever wanted.
For a moment, the distance between them felt a little smaller. The corner, once a place of music, now held a fragile truce. Emily sat at a window table in a small cafe, her fingers wrapped around a cooling mug. Every chime of the door made her flinch. Then a woman with gray hair and a cardigan approached, her smile gentle. You must be Emily, she said, and the tension in the room shifted.
I am so glad you came. That video, before it disappeared, stopped me cold. Your voice holds something rare.
Thank you. But honestly, after what happened with the label, I am not sure I am ready for anyone to hear me again.
The label wanted a product. I am just a teacher. I saw your spirit. You have a teacher's heart, whether you know it or not. I need an assistant for our beginner guitar class, twice a week, sharing music with children. No stage, just a classroom, a fresh start.
You really think I can do that? I've only ever sung for myself.
I think you've already been teaching out on that corner, whether you saw it or not. Now it's time for a different audience.
I need a day to think about it. I hope that's okay.
Outside, the afternoon sun hit her face, and for the first time in days, her step felt a little lighter. That night, Emily walked to the street corner alone. The lamp buzzed on, and she stood in her old spot, but this time she carried nothing. She looked at the wall, where she'd leaned her guitar night after night, singing to ghosts. Now the silence felt different.
The label dropped me. William filmed me. Rick nearly pulled me back, but I am still standing. That has to mean something.
She sat on the low wall and pulled a small journal from her coat. She wrote, "I want to teach, not because I failed, but because I still have music to give."
I've been waiting for someone else to validate me, but I am the one who has to do it.
She closed the journal, then took out her phone. She typed to William, "I am taking the job, and I want you to be there. Meet me at the corner." Her thumb pressed send before fear could stop her. For the first time in weeks, the street lamp didn't feel like a spotlight on her failure. It felt like a beacon. Across town, William's phone buzzed with her text. He read it twice, then grabbed his jacket and ran.
She said yes, and she wants me there. After everything.
He reached the corner, breathless, and saw her sitting on the low wall, guitar across her lap, but silent. He stopped a few feet away, chest still heaving. She looked up, and their eyes locked.
I am going to do it. The teaching thing. I said yes.
I am so glad, Emily. I was so scared my mess had ruined everything.
She stood, and for the first time, her eyes were dry and sure.
Thank you, William. Not for the video. For being the one who stopped that first night. You saw me when no one else did.
I'd do it all over again. Even the mistake, because it brought you here. I'd do anything to see you like this.
Then, without a word, she stepped forward and wrapped her arms around him. He held her tightly, the weight of weeks finally lifting. They pulled apart, but their hands lingered. For a moment, the only sound was the hum of the street lamp.
Mrs. Lawson wants me twice a week. Just beginners, little kids with tiny guitars. I am terrified.
You'll be incredible. I'll be there, front row, invisible, just like always.
She laughed, a real laugh, the first in days, and the sound seemed to chase the shadows from the corner.
It's funny. This corner used to feel like a cage. Now it feels like a starting line.
Then meet me here tomorrow night. One last time before you become a teacher.
Tomorrow. And then the classroom. I can't believe this is real.
They stood in the golden light, a comfortable silence settling between them. The city buzzed on, but here, time paused.
See you tomorrow, William.
I'll be here.
Emily walked into the music room, where a circle of children with tiny guitars looked up expectantly.
Hi, everyone. I am Emily, who wants to learn how to make a beautiful sound.
One girl, Mia, sat apart, clutching her guitar like a secret. Emily knelt beside her and gently placed her fingers over the strings.
Just press here and strum. You'll be surprised how beautiful it sounds.
Mia's fingers slipped, then found the chord. A clean note rang out, and the girl's face lit up like a sunrise.
This is why I started playing. Not for applause, but for moments like this.
In the hallway, William watched through the door window, his chest tight with pride.
You were born for this, Emily. I knew it the moment I heard you.
Thank you, Mrs. Lawson. I've never felt this right about anything.
Then her eyes found the window, and just beyond the glass, William stood smiling. She didn't need words. They walked to the corner in easy silence, the city hushing around them. Emily took her usual spot on the low wall.
Today felt like the first real day of my life. I finally know why I am here.
You were incredible. I've never seen anyone so natural with kids.
I get it now. Music isn't about being heard by millions. It's about sharing something real, even with just one person.
She turned to face him, the street lamp catching the flecks of gold in her eyes.
The first person who clapped for me that night, that was you. And you've been here for every single moment since.
His hand found hers in the dimness, their fingers lacing together like they'd always belonged. They sat in silence, the city a distant murmur, the street lamp warming their shoulders. The corner, once a stage for failure, now felt like hallowed ground. They held on, the unspoken words pressing against the quiet, waiting for the right moment.
You stayed. When the whole world walked by, you stayed.
I'll always stay. I'll always be here.
His voice broke on the last word, but his hands were steady as they rose to cradle her face. He brushed a tear from her cheek, and for a heartbeat, they just looked at each other, years of loneliness dissolving. Then they kissed, soft, sacred, a tangle of relief and joy that spoke every unuttered word. The street lamp seemed to brighten, as if bearing witness to the redemption of a corner and two hearts. The corner, once her monument to failure, now sealed their new beginning. When they broke apart, it was only to breathe, foreheads resting together, a shared world between them. He wrapped his arms around her, and she melted into the embrace, her tears finally falling. Not of sorrow, but of release. And for a long, still moment, there was nothing but the sound of two hearts beating as one, and the quiet hum of a street lamp that had seen it all. They loosened their hold, but their hands remained intertwined. A soft, watery laugh escaped her lips.
I almost didn't sing tonight. I almost let the fear keep me silent.
I almost walked past that first night, you know. But your voice cut through the noise.
But you didn't. You stopped. And look what happened.
They both glanced at the empty patch of concrete where her guitar case used to sit, a silent witness to everything.
I might never busk here again, and that's okay. This corner served its purpose.
I don't care where you sing. I'll listen. Anywhere.
She leaned her head on his shoulder as they rose. The street lamp flickered warmly as they began to walk, leaving the corner behind. The man who simply stopped gave her back more than a career. He gave her back herself, and the woman who once sang to ghosts now had a future full of music and someone to share it with. A few weeks later, William walked home past the corner. The lamp was on, but the guitar case was gone. He smiled. He knew exactly where she was, and that she was exactly where she needed to be. He changed direction and walked to the music school, hands in his pockets, a quiet buzz in his chest. Through the classroom window, he saw her, Emily, kneeling beside a tiny girl, guiding her fingers on a small guitar. Her laughter rang through the glass, brighter than any street lamp. She glanced up and saw him. Her face broke into the widest grin.
She waved, her fingers sticky with the residue of teaching, her smile erasing any last shadow of doubt.
William raised a hand in return, his heart full, needing nothing more. The girl beside Emily plucked a tiny chord, and Emily's attention returned to her, but she stole one more glance at the window. The man who stayed didn't need to go inside. Just knowing she was happy was enough. The guitar case is put away for good now, but her voice still fills a room, just a different one. William never planned to be someone's turning point. He never set out to change a life. He just stopped walking. A man in a denim jacket halted by a voice on a forgotten corner, and that one small act, stopping when no one else did, became everything. The corner is empty now. The lamp still hums, but the guitar case is gone. Against the wall, a small bouquet of wildflowers leans, left by someone who remembers. A quiet memorial, not to a life ended, but to a life changed. Because one man stopped, a singer found her voice, and a teacher found her calling. The world kept walking, but he stayed, and that made all the difference.